Sláinte, how you do, buckaroos? How the heck are you? You know who I am. I know who I am most of the time. Anyways, I digress. Check something real quick, then I'll be right back with you. Make an adjustment I forgot to do last time. There we go. Now we're back in business. All righty then. How the heck are you? Again, I'm the Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this video. I decided to do two cocktails with one whiskey. The one whiskey being the Rieger's J. Rieger Sweet Mash Straight Bourbon Whiskey at 90 proof. Founded in 1887 in Kansas City, Missouri, J. Rieger and Company was once the largest mail order whiskey house. It's got a nice story here. They don't tell me a lot about their bourbon, which is, I wish they would. I wish they'd give us some mash, but nevertheless, jrieger.com, Jacob Rieger and Company, Kansas City, Missouri. They do some nice products. Show you that there. So what I did with this first one is rather close to a classic or a standard old fashioned. So what I have here is 2 ounces of the whiskey, 1 ounce of a raw sugar simple, and a couple dashes of some smoked orange bitters. What I did a little bit different here is I added a dark cherry garnish and a scorched candied orange garnish. I took a candy orange, took my torch to her, so we got that little bit of scorch on her, if you can see that. Ah, that's nice. Yeah, Turbinado, Demiro, whatever you can find. But it is better if you use a raw sugar note as opposed to the white sugar, your bleach sugar. You get a much cleaner taste, much cleaner, simple. And I'm kind of known for doing. This is going to sound like an oxymoron, but a fancy simple. I'm known for adding things to my simple. But this one I did just a straight simple. Raw sugar, water, equal parts of each. 2 ounces of the whiskey, 1 ounce of that, and about 3 dashes of some smoked orange bitters. That was it. Kept it rather true to classic. The only thing different, obviously, is how I'm serving it. And I'm serving it straight out. Most folks these days want their old fashioned served with that big cube. And I say these days because historically it was served straight up. Or either or, I'll say that. But most cocktails back in the day were served straight up, which means it was chilled, was served in a glass, like a coupe here, which is typically how I like my cocktails this time of year. So other than the fact that I'm not serving it with an ice cube, I got it served in a nice coupe, nice and chilled. Ah, that's delicious, man. That's nice. This is a nice bourbon. I really wish they gave me the mash because I'm really curious. Great bourbon whiskey. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, I just couldn't get my old ice to read it. Nevertheless, let me give it my shot here. 56% corn, 30% rye, 14% malted barley. So what I love about this one, so I wanted to find that mash because it was feeling like a traditional bourbon that used rye. 30% rye qualifies as a high rye bourbon. 14% malt, man. Wow, 14% barley malt. That is a lot. Many bourbons only use about 5 or 6%. Some even less than that. But I'm one of the rarities these days where I prefer a high rye bourbon. It seems like younger drinkers want that sweeter, softer, wheated bourbon. Some older folks too. I mean, I'm not knocking Pappy in the bunch. I do think it's overplayed. I want to say overrated, but I think overplayed is a better word because I think it's just been played out. Whiskey distillers rely on bourbon drinkers, whiskey drinkers being lemmings, and if they say something loud enough, long enough, you're going to believe it, whether it's true or not. Now, again, I'm not knocking Pappy. I'm not saying it's a bad whiskey. Of course, it's not. But is it worth the current price point? No, it is not. I remember a time where I could easily pick it up off the shelf just about anywhere. It was never priced low enough to be my everyday dram, but it was priced low enough where I could pick it up once a month and not worry about my budget. And it's not that way anymore. And it's because uh, you've got these secondary market folks that have fucked everything up. They're buying large quantities and making everything else allocated. I've lost whiskey friends over my stance on secondary markets. Yeah, I am not a fan. I will not buy a damn thing on a secondary market. Because I think they're screwing up everything, whether it be beer, whiskey, peanut butter, lip balm. I mean, I don't care what it is. Secondary markets are not your friend. If you're buying on secondary markets, you need to reevaluate your life choices. Of course, I'm kidding there, but the truth is that these allocated products, these products that are prices are inflated on the secondary market, you could take that same amount of money, go to whatever store you have near you, and I guarantee you're going to find a local or local-ish distiller doing products every bit as good, if not better, than what you're willing to pay for a lesser product. Buffalo Trace is a nice whiskey, but it's not worth $100 a bottle, right? If you're paying more than 30, well, there's something wrong with you. Uh, no, that's not true either. It's just that I feel like some people want to fit in so bad they're willing to buy what these bourbon guys are telling them to do to fit in. Look what I have. I bought these products you said. Don't do that. They're I guarantee you, wherever state you live in, you've got some local distillers that are doing fine products. Give them the money. These are the folks that need the money. These are the businesses we need to stay alive. Those big guys do not need your money. Hence Jay Rieger's. Yeah, I mean, I want to support these small guys. Jay Rieger's, Union Horse, Tomstown, Restless Spirits. I mean, Kansas City area's got some great distilleries. Support those guys. St. Louis, you got Still 630, Sweetgrass. Those are the only two that are coming to mind at the moment. But um, when we were in Indianapolis, I found a Hotel Tango and Four Fingers that are incredible. In Columbus, I found Endeavor, Endeavor, Watershed, Echo Spirits. I didn't make it to Middle West, and I admit it, I did want to get there, but it wasn't a priority because some of their products are available here. I did want to get there, I really did, but it just didn't happen. I just ran out of time. But the point being, man, support those small guys. These are the folks that need your money. Forget what somebody is telling you have to have because he's making money off of it. They're trying to sell you something. They're not necessarily telling you the truth. Not necessarily telling you a lie either, but they're telling you their version of the truth, which at best is a half truth. That was nice. That's really as close to a standard old fashioned that I usually make anymore because I've been coming up with different concoctions throughout the course of the year when I was put in charge of cocktails where I work. I came up with one that was fairly standard, other than the bitters, tobacco bitters. So we use, of course, the whiskey we use for it's changed over time depending on what was available. But basically, I did a orange zest simple, the whiskey, and then tobacco bitters. We call it a cigar badge. And that one was insanely popular, so we had to keep it around, one of those manly drinks, you know. But then for the fall, when the fall came around, I came with a pecan pie old fashioned. We're gonna run that one through the end of the year because it's been rather popular as well. And come December, I'm working on a recipe for a cherry cordial. I don't necessarily want to call it an old fashioned because I want to serve it like this, right? I want to serve it straight up. I want to serve it chilled, but in a coupe. All right, so I'm going to grab cocktail number two, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back for cocktail number two. So originally, what I was going to do here was, since I was doing basically a fairly standard old fashioned, I was going to do a Manhattan. But then I found my Nocino. Oh no, let's do that. Of course, I had the sweet vermouth ready to go, but then I found my Nocino. So Nocino is a black walnut liqueur, and this one is from Watershed Distillery in Columbus. It is at 28.4%, or that would be what, about 56.8 proof. So it is again, it's a barrel finished Nicino. So black walnut liqueur that's barrel finished. So use the J Rieger as I showed you earlier. Use this bourbon, 2 ounces of 1 ounce of that Nocino. And then, oh, I think I left them in there, but I think I left them in there, man. Oh, I had them here a second ago. I used them for my picture, but I don't know where I put them. Anyways, never mind. But I use black walnut bitters. 'Cause again, I was going to do more or less a standard Manhattan, but then I remembered the Nocino, and I remembered the black walnut bitters, and so this is what we got here. So I've got that bourbon, the Nicino, some black walnut bitters, and you can't see it, but there is a dark cherry floating at the bottom of the glass. I had never had Nocino before. I knew absolutely nothing about it before I bought this one. And I got to tell you, I am hooked. I mean, I am hooked, hooked, hooked. I really like this stuff. Trying to get myself centered without moving my camera here. Yeah, sorry about that. Rather obsessive sometimes. Anyways, no, I really like this, but I wasn't familiar with it until I bought this one, so I'm going to have to look into other products because I'm about halfway through this one now, and I've only had it about well, not quite 3 months. So, but it is a nice liqueur. through again late fall, early winter, or even all through winter. It's going to be nice. Black walnuts aren't for everybody, but they are indigenous to my neck of the woods as well. So I'm a big fan of them, but they are a little more pungent. They're a little stronger. They're quite a different animal compared to the English walnut. It's not the same thing. There's a little more going on. So I like it here because that slight bitterness of the Nocino balances that slight sweetness of this particular bourbon. So it really mellows everything out. Oh, this is absolutely gorgeous. And again, I've got it straight up because I originally I was thinking of doing a Manhattan, but then at the last minute, I decided to omit the sweet vermouth, do the Nocino with the black walnut bitters. There they are. Knew I had them here somewhere. There we go. It's my black walnut bitters. Getting close though. I've been using a lot of them. I really like them. They're nice. They really add a lot to the aromatics, man. Ah, man, that's gorgeous. Oh man, picked up a lot of great products on our vacation this year. Picked up some products in Indianapolis when we stopped there. Hard Truth, Four Fingers, Hotel Tango. I mentioned. Then when we got to Columbus, I picked up four Endeavor Echo Watershed. There was someplace else in Echo Endeavor Watershed. And then on our way home, I found products from the Neely family distillers. I love finding these local treasures. We hit Neely quite by accident, so now I've got to find a way to get back there because their products are insane, man. If you ever have a chance, that was Sparta, Kentucky, if I remember right. We just pulled off to get some gas. My wife saw a sign and asked me if I wanted to go. And originally, well, at first I said no, uh, mostly because we were running behind. Right, we got hit by a storm, some accidents. We were running way behind on schedule. Said no, let's just keep going. She said it's okay. So all right. So we stopped there, killed about 30 minutes, and I bought three products. And at the time, I thought I was spending a lot of money until I got home and tasted those products and went, damn. Yeah, they are amazing. So I got to get back to Sparta, Kentucky for those. I bought a bottle. I bought this bottle from Watershed while we were in Columbus. This is their barrel strength fall finishing series, 5-year old, finished on a port cast. But they had another one. They had another one, but it was I was gonna go on. Go on. You had to sign up for the lottery, but it was going to be sold, and they don't ship. It's going to be sold while we were back home. So I was able to buy it over the phone. I had a friend pick it up and find a way to get it to me. So I've got that one, which is a 6-year old finished in apple brandy barrels. So I'm looking forward to trying that one. And it's at cask. So, because I do have this one, I do have this Watershed, a 4-year-old at 90 proof, finished on apple brandy. But that one is a 6-year-old at cask. I mean, come on. Only a whiskey geek I know would find that something, but okay, well, I got this one. That was the main reason I bought that one, though, in all honesty, is because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get the other one. And then when my number came up and I was able to buy it, I called a friend. I said, "Will you be able to pick this up for me?" Uh, but they did say, funny thing is, they did say once you pay for it, they will keep it indefinitely. So, and well, I could find some time to get back there in a year or so. But a friend found a way to get it to me, so that was nice. The funny thing about this Nocino is the more I drink it, the more I like it. I wasn't sure at first because I hadn't had anything like it before, but I love using this in place of sweet vermouth in sort of a Manhattan style drink, right? Served straight up. I feel like it just makes a nice late fall winter cocktail. It's very flavorful, and again, it provides that just slight hint of bitterness that mellows out the sweetness. Anyways, I digress. I really enjoy this Riegers though. They've been known for their Kansas City whiskey in the past, not necessarily their bourbon, their Kansas City whiskey, but I've had various versions of their bourbon, not necessarily this one, but various versions of their cask bourbon aged in different things, Cabernet barrels, and other things, etc. I've had, but this product was new to me, so I really wanted to try it. But it was the mash that really got me to buy it here. This bourbon must be a minimum of 51% corn, and they are not far over that, right? Because many bourbons are 80, 90 plus, and everything else is secondary. But this one wow, at a meager 55%, I think that says, or 56%, 56%. And 30% rye. You got that 50%, 56% corn, 30% rye. Oh my gosh, this thing is insanely good. So there you go. Anyways, I digress. Two cocktails with a whiskey whisperer. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, prayer wisdom, all around good guy. Sláinte.